that concept art behind you.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's in the secret room with all the ideas. All right, and we are going live now, so I've got this thing up so I can see when people start talking and noticing us.
Let me load that up myself.
I have chat to the right of me on my laptop.
Sounds good. I bet you the first thing they talk about is Howard's picture. I really hope that picture just survives forever. I'm really proud of it.
What is this picture?
Going live now.
I need to go on the stream later.
Yep, it's up. Well, it's the one that got frozen last time. Howard was
Yeah. Okay.
with the caption Skywalls. Oh, here we go. Mr. Honey Badger is our first person. Where are all the white women at? And a good strong start to the stream.
I feel like we made a positive impact already.
Well, hello to the 9 followers. I'm assuming more people are going to come in as we go on, but you are the early arrivers to the Dev Fireside chat for the 17th. So actually the first question, I guess, who is Dan Leto? So actually I'll let you describe Dan, who you are.
I am Dan. Hi. I'm Dan.
Hi.
It's really obvious. Hi. This is not a special meeting like that. I have been doing some Guns Vickers broadcasting for the last 2 months. 2 months or so, I'd say. I was helping out a lot with COGS when QWERTY was still with the project. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out, which we'll talk about later, but we do broadcasting right now with The Rob and Dan Show. Again, hi, I'm Dan. We broadcast over at twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. We do a lot of Guns of Icarus stuff, including, we're actually going to be doing the Iron Fork as soon as this is over. They're one of Cake and Overwatch's events. They do it every Friday, so that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's me. Hi.
Yep, he is our new hero of the Saturday at 4 p.m. slot. So we thought we'd bring him on, let him talk a little bit about that as we go on, especially because there will probably be a couple questions, because there was a lot of confusion in the forums as we went through like 3 leaders and 3 different formats in about a week, it seemed like. But as always, whenever people start with questions, we'll start coming in. I guess we can start talking about what we've been working on this week, though, or what Eric's been working on mostly, which is the Artemis testing, which I think is still happening as this goes.
It's happening right now, and so at least what's in DevApp right now, I'll just go ahead and tell everyone. So the proposed changes are as follows for the Artemis in 1.3.5 are reduced muzzle speed, reduced projectile expansion, and a little bit reduced AoE, and on the fence is reduced yaw speed, so moving the gun left and right, that is a little slower. So far, people are enjoying it right now. The main intention for this gun is to make it harder as a, I'll just load up a junker with all Artemis and just like blow the crap out of you. I don't want that. That's kind of boring. And also, the gun was too easy to use, so you would see just a lot of new players just plopping Artemises all over their ships and just, wreaking havoc on the enemy team. So the idea is to add a little bit more skill, add a little bit more preparation required to use the gun effectively. And yeah, and then the players who are testing it right now seem to find it quite good, actually. Especially with it opens up a lot more variety with the ammo. So.
And speaking of more variety with ammo.
Oh yeah, and on the side I'm testing the ammo, which is rather hilarious. But yeah, get into DevApp. Those are the kinds of cool things you can do with DevApp. You can try the new changes that are going to drop in the next pack, and can also look at things that are just for fun in testing and see what happens with them. Like ammo types that just double the amount of ammo and then just like poops it out all at once. It's pretty spectacular. Imagine a Hwacha with 40 shots and it just shoots them all at once. How horrific is that?
Also, my favorite change, quick join is gone. That's actually been called for in the community for quite a while.
Yeah.
So when someone comes on your ship and they don't have the right things, they did it on purpose.
Yeah, we're killing that.
Oh,
It's not our fault anymore.
Rimmer has just come in. He said the Artemis test team won after the change.
What's that?
What does that even mean?
Oh, they won after. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so like the team that was using the Artemis versus.
I was testing yaw speed changes. I increased their yaw speed just by a little bit, and that seemed to. Yeah, that seems to be the pinning criteria here is how far I'll push the yaw speed decrease. So we'll see.
What about the yaw width? Or the span,
no, I
or
don't want
whatever.
to. I don't want to touch the yaw arcs on those because I do want to, keep the easy trifectas on ships like the Junker and stuff like that, or even the Spire. But the thing is, the slower yaw speed introduces a necessity for preparation and increased coordination between gunner and pilot. So this means you'll be getting fewer, noob teams being able to pull that off really easily. And I think that's been the major complaint.
And fewer off-the-hip shots in very close combat.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like at far range, the decreased yaw speeds isn't going to make much of a difference, but at close range, it is the biggest difference. But also, it's you don't really need to lead your shot at that point now.
Yeah. And we have, and I love you people. We love you too. We don't really know who you are, but we will return your love in full kind.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? We are a loving family here. Especially Dan. Dan has the most love to give. I'm sorry.
This is not true, but I accept it anyhow.
Are there any volume changes to the Artemis's shot sound, or is it loud enough? I've not heard this before.
That actually ties into
That's
something
new.
that. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of that issue before. Dan, you were going to say something?
That actually ties into something that Rob and I have noticed when we are doing our broadcasts of Guns of Icarus. The sounds of the guns, the actual echoes, the reverberations, the audio that travels away from the guns when they shoot, the distance is very small. Like, it's incredibly small sometimes, but at the same time, it can reach a great distance. Is there any plans to bring some consistency to that, so when we're broadcasting, it's not a play between, oh crap, the gun sounds really tiny, crank it, oh shit, no, they're getting really loud, oh dear.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the fall off. I mean, we've been doing a lot of revisions as far as like adding more feedback for like pilot skills. Just letting you engineers know that the pilot is damaging your goddamn engines for like the millionth time and they're dying. The sound fall off is going to play a major part in that, and yeah, we can definitely make a pass at all that sort of stuff when we get to it.
Is this an answer to the dev games where I kept burning the engines with moonshine?
Yeah, that's a possible thing. Yeah, probably because of you.
Yep, I'm gonna take all the credit for these changes. I am the catalyst.
The pilot skill feedback is not for 135 though. Just FYI.
135 being the patch that we're gonna come up to. Do we have a date or anything we're looking at for it yet?
135, we should be freezing at the end of the month, so you can expect it around, early February probably. I don't have the exact date. I need to go outside and look at our physical calendar that's on our wall.
And then 136 is planned on matchmaking, right?
I believe so. Yes.
So that's when the big change comes in, all the work that's not on
Yeah.
co-op mode.
Again, matchmaking is going to be the way in which you're going to play Guns of Icarus from, after 136. So I just want everyone to be very prepared for that. It will change the flow dramatically. But at that same point, we're making it easy for you to also form your crew to play on the same team. We're also making an option to make it easy to play tournament matches against 2 preset teams. So there will be ways to play with the people that you know, but if you're just ad hoc playing with a couple of friends, matchmaking will dramatically increase the speed in which you drop into a match and play with other people instead of just hanging out in match lobby and stuff like up to 20 minutes, making sure people bring on the right stuff. So that's the goal.
To speak of common complaints.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there any plans for an in-game clan interface that everyone can use, much like World of Warcraft's basic clan system with a calendar and with a window pane that you can pull up that has everyone listed?
Yeah, actually, so the one thing that we will lose that we've realized, if we do implement matchmaking, is that people do like to talk and socialize during match lobby ready time. So we're not going to have that anymore once we, get into matchmaking, right? That match lobby time will be dedicated to actually seriously doing customizations and loadout stuff, and then you'll get dropped into a match. In order to retain some of that social aspect, we're thinking about, shoving everyone into a post-match lobby. So right now the flow is you finish a match, you jump back into the same match lobby with everyone else. So it's in that vein, you're going to be not brought back into a proper match lobby, but there'll be ways to like, I just was match made with these new people, we played well. The captains will have an option to say, hey, do you want to form a crew with me and go into matchmaking together and be a team and play again? Stuff like that. Yeah, you'll be able to see everyone in the match, friend people, and that's the goal for this end match lobby.
And we have Consume Baby Flesh, that is his name, asking about...
I've also heard a lot of players wondering whether or not we... Oh.
Go ahead. The Baby Flesh can wait. We'll grab him. He will not be forgotten.
Oh, I was going to say, do you know if there are any... Jeez. They say it like that. But, are there any plans of making the friend system two-way instead of one-way?
We've talked about it, and what it comes down to is when we'll have... It's a serious overhaul to introduce bidirectional friendship. It is very hard and it will take a lot of time. So even with considerations for matchmaking, we've said, maybe we do need bidirectional friends, and we're like, wait, if we need to work on that, matchmaking will never come out. So again, it's trying to pick out, which things are the most ripe at the moment to grab from the tree, and matchmaking seems like the best one for now. Bidirectional friends could come in the future. It'll take a lot more evaluation and time. So we'll see where we get with that.
Speak of the matchmaking system, I'm noticing that we are starting to see our performances, various classes, ranked at the end of battles. Is that going to factor heavily into it?
Wait, what was the question again?
I'm noticing that at the end of battles we see our class performance ranked or graded now. And is that going to factor into the way you determine matchmaking? I imagine that's the first pass of the system, right?
No, the matchmaking will be determined by your just wins. It'll use the Glico 2 system. Everyone will have a ratings deviation, and all those types of variables in play. All this stuff won't be completely exposed to you on the front end, but once you get in, and we're actually developing ways to look at your past data right now. If you've been playing guns for a while, we will assign you a pretty close rating, and once you play 3 or 4 matches, your rating will be pretty accurate. And this is the data that we've been using, real data, to test all of this right now. So hopefully, once matchmaking drops in, based on your level and your past match data, you'll be already associated with a pretty close estimation of what your actual rating will be.
So, do we have a best player based on the historic data?
I guess the answer would be yes, but I don't know. I haven't looked at the raw numbers myself. This is all being done through rigorous algorithmic testing. Fair
enough. All right. So back to Consume Baby Flesh. He's asking that he'd love to see the netcode improved. Is there any plans for that, or is there any fixes coming in? Howard just took over Eric on my screen. I'm assuming Eric's still here. I think the window thing just changed. So.
Yeah. I am still here. improving the net code. What the performance, is it laggy? What specifically? I mean, there are of course always optimizations that can be made. It depends what the particular problem is.
All right. And so hopefully he'll answer. And Dan, do you want to read the next question while I fix this up so we can get Eric back in the scene?
Next question, as far as my chat log has to offer, scrolling back up. My goodness, there's a lot of questions. Imagine, I lost it again. There's a lot of questions going on in chat right now. Scrolling back up here. Imagine wanted to ask any news on when you're going to desegregate scramble and non-scramble matches on the lobby list.
By desegregation, he means actually resegregating it based on in progress versus not in progress matches, correct?
I believe
Not
so.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, you know what? That is probably something that we should get in this bill. We should move that item to, I would say, pretty near the top of the list. Actually, that's pretty easy to do. We're already committed to doing that, and I'll let the person working on it know that we'll try to get into this build. So, or this upcoming build, I mean.
All right, sounds good. Brian's asking also to add to Dan's idea, what about in-game calendar so non-competitive casual players know when events are going on, and in the meantime...
Wait, for my dramatic entry and my tighter look, nobody's asking me about Steam Dev Days? Seriously? Alright.
well, getting that all fixed
My
up, we missed a lot.
haggard
We
appearance.
missed a lot of questions, so I want to make sure people
man.
don't feel ignored. We'll definitely hit in. I thought you needed a moment to gather yourself as well. Have no fear.
Man, I'm tired, dude. I don't know if I can take another red eye.
Yeah, to answer the question about a calendar, with matchmaking, we are doing a lot of redesigns to the UI. So we're trying to carve out a space where we could put a calendar, but because we don't have a match list anymore, we will have an idea of featured matches. So, for example, anyone who's a mod or something like that can feature a match like it is now, like a dev match. In the featured match list, there will be like the dev matches. We'll probably want to feature all our tournament matches, even though the public can't join in on them without the proper passwords and stuff like that. They have to be a part of the tournament to play. We want, of course, everyone to know that these things are happening. So yeah, at least the featured match list is one step closer to having that calendar.
And yeah, by the way, I mean just for general community competitive, whether calendar or features and stuff, like it's something that we've been talking about it for a while, and people have been hearing about it for a while, a bit. But what do we say, Eric? Like we're supposed to really get together and start doing some fun work on it next week. So we'll have more news for that kind of stuff down, coming up. I think once we get further ahead, we can announce it more. We can talk about it more.
Okay, sounds good. And then Rimmer was asking, how's the pre-purchase for Adventure Mode going? Are we where we expected, ahead, behind? And are we planning on promotional pushes closer to the release?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, so it's really a two-part question, really, or two-part answer. One is that Adventure Mode right now is for the original Kickstarter and pre-ordering on Adventure Mode. It's really split into Adventure Mode and Co-op mode, right? I mean, for people who like really haven't been like tuning in, to the Dev Fireside chat or like elsewhere, whatever. There will be actually two DLCs or two expansions instead of just one. But obviously, for people who pre-ordered before on Kickstarter or our site, they will get both, right? So that's the first part of the answer. The second part is like, how's it going? Well, I mean, most of that is Kickstarter. On our site, it's pretty organic. It's just people who see it, especially like players in game now. They go check it out, and they pledge. It's only like $10, for both expansion, which is crazy. I mean, yeah, it's gonna. But as far as like how that goes, it's after Kickstarter, it's just been, it's been, I would say compared to like Kickstarter, it's more of a trickle, because just really like we didn't really like tout it per se, We just kind of have it on our site, and people like either from in-game or from our site like find out about it, and they go pledge for it. But I mean, obviously, it will be a great deal. It'll be an incredible deal, I think. As far as like how I think that's how like planning is going. Actually, we just started planning, how to message it, how to promote it. I was talking to our Steam account like managers and stuff, to see how we can get that working. How we can basically integrate a DLC or like tout the DLC when it's closer to release and stuff. So we'll have some, at least we have some preliminary plan as far as how that would go. We'll need to work with Steam to make sure that like whatever we have like sort of works with them. So I'll say we're still pretty early in the planning stages. And I think the only like promotional target that we have is for PAX East. So between now and PAX East, obviously, what would be transitioning from like early prototype into a like a sort of early alpha build. And we want to get players in, especially people who like backed us or pre-ordered, or people who can tolerate and stomach, cubes and spheres and all kinds of craziness. But by PAX East, we want to actually have a version to show. Obviously, it'll be in a controlled environment, but we'll have something to show. And from that point on, we'll be doing more, of spreading the word.
Okay. And then, so I'm going to ask you all about the Steam Days. There was a couple technical questions that came up. So someone's saying that when the flamethrower is shot, that they have lag. That's probably just the graphical lag, and try turning down settings.
Lag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, flamethrower and flare right now are like more graphically intensive.
Mm-hmm. And then there was one about someone having constant ship skipping, like ammo freezing in place, and he's on a good connection and a good PC. That could can be conflicting programs, other network things happening. I mean, you can always send us your data and we can check it out. It's always really helpful for us, because if there's something you're seeing that we're not seeing.
Yeah. For that, we will email us, and we'll ask you for a few pieces of information, and we'll take a look.
I've had that same issue with trying to stream Guns of Icarus. My up is about 2.5. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination. Down is fine, but up is always an issue for me when trying to stream. It seems like if you guys are trying to stream Guns of Icarus, the up needs at least about a meg a second just for the game itself, maybe a little less than that. If you don't have that available and enough for you to stream at quality, you may just want to fraps it. You may just want to take a local video of it. Is there any thoughts to kind of bringing down the system, the network requirements of Guns of Icarus?
I mean, that's probably a better question for Alex. I mean, it's really an optimization question, really, because like it's not just effects. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, especially with physics. And if you play in a larger map, or in a more intense battle, more ships kind of all happening or congregating, like all the network stuff, physics calculation is going to be more intense. I mean, it'll be a goal to keep optimizing it for sure. It's something that Alex thinks about a lot. Well, like probably all the time. But yeah, I mean, I can only say that's something that we'll keep improving. But like there's gonna be a performance threshold with a multiplayer game, online game running this kind of physics. So.
And those are the technical questions we had. So Steam Days, wow us. What are we seeing? What do we get to take advantage of?
I think I mean it's pretty awesome. Like I had it. I've been like writing Steam, like, hey, because after PAX I was at like basically there's like this secret I don't know visit by, like, they invited a few devs, maybe like 10 devs, whatever, just to go to Valve, and it's like they had this like pretty awesome demo, like a sneak peek of the controller and of the Steam box and everything. Like, we're not supposed to talk about it, blah blah. And there was this, like, I don't know, what was it, like, I would say a few months before like they actually announce anything. So then I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Since I'm there, I guess I'll be getting my controller and Steambox pretty soon. I'm like, oh, so I just keep emailing them like, hey, controller, and they're like, like they just like silent. So what ended up happening is that people who go, like everybody who showed up, got a controller and a Steambox. And I went with Joe,
Lucky
who's
you.
like the indie PR guy. So I took his as well. So I had two Steam boxes, two controllers. We're doing some fun stuff.
How
with
charitable of you.
it. We do some fun stuff with it. So I mean that was amazing. All right, like just the swag bag. Like so you get the bag. Right? I'm like, oh yeah, a notebook, a pen, awesome. Whoa, okay, a T-shirt, that's cool. A sticker. Oh shit, a beanie. All right, that's cool. That's even cooler. And then it's like you fumble around. It's like, wait, what is this thing? You open it up. It's like, holy shit, it's a controller. And then they're like, oh yeah, if you everybody gets a Steam box. I'm like, what? At the end of the first day. So you line up, and everybody got one, and it's pretty incredible, right? So like I was like, oh, I got a Steam box, and I think George was like, oh, great job, man. Yeah, great job getting the Steam box. Like yeah, this is what we set out to do, and you did. I'm like, I just showed up, man. I just showed up, and no, it's incredible, right? Like the Steambox spec is i7 clock core, right? It's Haswell. It's got 8 gigs of RAM and a terabyte hard drive, all in that little box. I mean, the box is it's like this big. I'll get in a second. And so that was pretty incredible. Just what was like, what they were like. Even
is this a Steam manufactured box or?
It's a gigabyte. It's a gigabyte box.
Well,
I mean,
the gigabyte.
So what was interesting is that Steambox, there was actually not a stand. I mean, so there will be 14 Steam machines. If you guys didn't know already, there will be 14 Steam machines, just ranging from different price points, different configs, right? And price points they haven't announced it yet, and specs they haven't really announced it yet either. But so there was one. I mean, they were demoing like a bunch of different ones, and there's one, the gigabyte one that they gave away to everybody. It was just like a pretty nice machine, man. It's actually pretty dope. I don't know how much.
Does the gigabyte have a dedicated graphics card in it? Doubt it, right?
It's Haswell.
Oh, so it's just the integrated Intel then, right?
Actually, Haswell. Actually,
yeah, it's integrated.
The Haswell's like, yeah, it's their mobile, like whatever, yeah. So it's a chipset, I think.
Well, I was gonna say you're finally gonna get to play guns on high settings, but nope.
Yeah, it's a.
No, you can on Haswell. You can.
No, you can do. You can do. Yeah, you can do something like you can do it. I mean, you probably run it at 30 frames to say, right? But you can do it. We tried it, and you should be able to run 30. So it's I think it's Haswell's a SIOC, I think. Yeah. And so the talks. The first day I went to more talks. Gabe Newell gave a keynote, and that was pretty good. So just some like quick takeaways. So Steam is at least the store of it is going to change further. It is going to be more of a democratic process than now. I mean, essentially, I think what Steam wants to do is to sort of divest out of curation, or like basically the idea of permission. Devs getting permission for different things, which is I think it's good for us because like right now, we have to bug our Steam account manager like for a lot of things, and they're trying to automate the process. Pretty soon, we can request even like we can just basically put in a request for sales, like say, okay, we want the discount on whatever day. It'll be like way more automatic than like bugging like Steam all the time, which is more and more useful for us. On the storefront too, I think it's going to be more like Steam was kind of. I guess anyway, it's going to be more like Google or something, like so Google, like this Google Play that, it's like the Google official store page, right? The Android official store page. But, like people can like have all kinds of different store pages. So like, for example, like Total Biscuit or like whatever publisher, they can have their own store pages. Like people can have their own like lists and whatnot. So I think from a developer standpoint, it'll probably be more work. It's going to be like, a tougher of a challenge to get discovered and whatnot. But I figure we've been used to doing like a lot of this work on our own. So it'll be more work, but I think at least for me, I think I'm pretty ready for the challenge. It'll be interesting. I think it's an interesting change. I think people have lots of debate about whether this is more beneficial, less beneficial for whom. So we'll see. But change is coming. And green light, I think, will be no more. How will be morphed into maybe morphed into some other form of like community approval process or some kind of like approval process. I don't know, but green light in its current form won't be. I went to another talk, with Daniel, like about just how Steam is expanding, which is pretty impressive. Like, so they announced like 75 million active. You guys all know that. So I mean that's like pretty huge. I think the other thing that was like interesting is that so they're going to be expanding into more geographic regions. So they're going to support like yen and support cash at 7-Eleven, all kinds of stuff. So which means that Steam is trying really hard to grow internationally. And I think they're doing it the right way because they're really supporting the native currencies and transaction systems, which is really like a huge gain to people paying on Steam. With Asian countries, it'll be interesting because Asian countries are known for like the kingdom of piracy, right? So it'll be interesting to see like how ease of use can really sort of fight that battle with piracy, how things will shake out. I thought it was like pretty cool. I went to a VR talk by our friend at Alchemy, our friends at Alchemy, and it was pretty interesting like what they're doing with like VR porting and stuff like that. Especially with UI, how they have to deal with UI, peripheral vision and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. The controller was another talk that I went to. It was just kind of interesting to see like all the different iterations. Like they would experiment with track balls, like gloves and all kinds of crazy stuff before they kind of set on the controller. And actually, the controllers that we get are prototype controllers, and they were already changed. Right now it doesn't like when you hold it, it feels pretty big, robust in your hands. But that's actually going to change too. So they're actually doing a lot of iteration of the controller. Like the buttons, as you see it, won't even be in the same position. They'll be like more traditional, like 4 buttons on each side of the controller on the front. So yeah, there's like a lot of like cool stuff that they're doing. I went to a talk on, like data analysis and how they were like, so they say like, oh, just basically one HUD change in Left 4 Dead, like, reduce teammates abandoning other teammates by 40%. And kind of how they got to that conclusion, or they got to that change. In like a simple pop-up on like in Dota for like reporting, like basically I think that like curbed some of the flaming or the trolling by, I don't know, like a significant percentage, like almost half or something like that. So yeah, just like a lot of good talks, and then I met like a bunch of other indie devs. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool indeed. Get to be fun to see how we get to take advantage of that coming up.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely like learn some stuff, not just about what Steam is doing, but sort of about how like Valve pours into like structured data and whatever. Stuff, some lessons that that'll be useful for us.
Sounds good. So we have Rimmer. He's asking for on Leto. Is there anything that you can talk about what you and Urs are planning for Saturday, or are you like holding it close to the chest still?
We're keeping a lot of things very under wraps right now. You don't really want to spread any details or any information until you have everything on lockdown, especially with something that's going to affect the entire community like this. For better or worse, it's good to just keep things close to the chest until you're ready to unleash everything and absolutely go bonkers. So, we're just gonna keep things under wraps. As people know on the forums, COGS was down, then it was up, then it was down, and at this point, we have said we are going to stop trying to do different things. Urs and I have completely come together, combining our very different but very agreeable skill sets, and we're moving forward with a major tournament project. We're planning this on being the absolute powerhouse for a Guns of Icarus tournament season. Now, I have some experience with setting up tournaments beforehand. Urs has a lot of experience with broadcasting matches and events with the Guns of Icarus community already. It's a very exciting project. We're going to be looking to talk to the clans here pretty soon to present our ideas and talk about them and see exactly how we can work with them. But with that being said, no details just yet. We're very excited, though. I cannot wait to see how everyone reacts and thinks about what we're working on. But sorry, no details just yet. Sorry.
I do have one question I have to ask, because you made mention that you got to see, because of what you've taken over and the way you're running things, like, a lot of people are happy with you, but you've got some people just, like, who hate you now. Like, how is the passion that you've experienced compared to, like, other games that you've done? Because I know you've done a lot of other games.
I have repeatedly compared this to the Natural Selection 2 community. There was a lot of unhappiness with how everything was being run at the time when I started getting more interested in Natural Selection 2 after I had a chance to buy it. That was back in 2009, I think. Point being, there wasn't a tournament set up at all. There wasn't anything going on. A couple of us decided, you know what? We should make something happen. And then a guy named NS2HD, Hugh Jeremy, got picked up by the actual company that makes Natural Selection 2. He was just a YouTuber. He put up Natural Selection 2 videos on YouTube, but they needed someone to do public relations and someone to do media relations. So they grabbed him, which gave us a really great opportunity to say, this can be an official tournament system for the entire community. We have a point system in place then. We have an actual tournament system. We can say, if you want to be involved, this is how you can be involved. We provided resources to a lot of the community members, and we went forward with that. Now, I didn't have the chance to stick around. I had to move around a lot at that point in time in my life, so I wasn't able to stick with the projects. But the point is, it's a very similar situation to what's going on here, and there's so much positive energy and excitement and money being generated right now by the Natural Selection 2 tournament community, partially because of the base that was laid by all of what we were doing. So if anyone, thinks that, okay, maybe this isn't a good situation anymore, there's not a lot of positive energy anymore, you're wrong. This is an amazing community. This is a fantastic community. We all have something powerful to offer when it comes to a competitive match or a scrimmage or putting together teams. And at this point, all I can say is this project is going to be powerful. The entire community is going to be powerful. We've been talking with other people that want to do things, other activities, not just to support our tournament, but the other way around. The community itself is vibrant. It's alive. It's growing right now. This is the best time to be part of Guns of Icarus Online. And, negativity happens at times. It does. People's feelings are, sometimes damaged heavily. Intense. Which is fine, but that's the part of doing business. That's the risk you have to take when it comes to making a business decision, whether it being Snap or not. And you have to move forward with everything you have available, whether it pisses some people off or not. You have to make the best decision for the group.
Well, we got a new hashtag up, apparently, Dan for President.
No.
Yeah. Hey,
No.
I mean, I sorry I missed the beginning of the passionate speech, and I concur with everything. I think that's the thing, right? It's like with every patch and everything, just on like changes and stuff. We have to take risk, and especially Eric, right? Eric gets us a lot of flack because balance is. But I mean, we have to take risks, and we know what we want to get to. Whether it's like, and we have, it's not like, oh, we just like okay, fine, today we take a dart and just shoot dart at the dartboard, right? So whatever we do, we feel like we have some evidence as to like what we should be doing, and we try to come up with creative solutions, and we try to make it work. Sometimes we fall on our face. Sometimes it's an improvement, whatever. But kind of feel like, yeah, I mean, as devs, we just kind of have to keep taking risks, and also keep trusting the community and the players to either give us good feedback or just to enjoy the game. So by the way, so the reason why I stepped away is because
Ooh.
Rex Pro.
And
Wow.
The legends are.
That center panel is still just a placeholder, right?
yeah. So okay. So actually, from what I got out of the controller talk is that, I don't know if you guys can see that well. So you know how like in the center there's a touchscreen, and I mean, what was to be a touchscreen, right? And that there are 4 buttons kind of on the edges of the touchscreen, right, on the screen. The touchscreen is actually it's going to completely go away, and the battery is going to be switched to like regular, I think a AA battery set, because they just realized that they don't have as much use. Like it's like touchscreen is like 10% of the use cases, so they're going to ditch that, and so then they're going to relay the buttons into like 4 on each side. So it'd be like more traditional. There'll be like still 8 buttons, but they'll be like relayed out so your thumbs can like more like a lot can reach it a lot easier. So I think it'll be better in the trackpad. Like it's getting like people have a lot of skepticism about it, but it's getting like more people play with it, the more like good responses or positive like feedback people are getting. And people ask like, oh, here, is it going to be like, say for instance, if you play Counter-Strike, somebody with a controller, are they going to be like competing? Can they compete with like keyboard and mouse? And then they're like, well, they don't know yet because weeks, if not months, for someone to be trained on the controller, especially the final version of it, to get that good. So we'll see. I mean, we now have the controllers so we can tune with. We'll be tuning it, so we'll see, man. We'll give it to. Once we have a control, you see, okay. The cool thing about Steam's controls, controller is that that everybody can save their settings, what their bindings, like on Steam, right? So you can save, say whoever can, Mac and Kivai, it's going to be a Kivai's binding, or Occam will have an Occam binding, whatever, right? And the more people use a binding, like the usage automatically vote up that binding. So at some point there's going to be a key bias binding, and that is actually going to be like the binding that everybody will see. It will be like basically the best binding for the game, which is like actually I think it's kind of interesting because we are only creating a default, right? Basically a quote unquote legacy, and after that, it's like the community actually decide what's the best, So I think it's kind of cool.
I have to ask because when Rob and I were doing the coverage of CES this year, we got a lot of the reports of what's going on with the Steam controller and Steam boxes. On the controller, on the actual pads themselves, we're told there are individual ridges underneath the touchpad. How effective are those when it comes to knowing where your thumbs are on the pad?
I think I don't have enough experience with it, I haven't really used it enough to say, oh yeah, this is super awesome. But according to their the people who have so they give out these controllers into people's hands for pretty extended testing. I think they got some a total of at least a 1 or 2 man month worth of like test data. So like it's been like pretty good already, and I think the general feedback is that like if you get used to it, it's actually pretty good. I mean, I've only tried it on like say Borderland or just like a few games for like a few minutes, so I don't think I'm knowledgeable enough to know. But we'll find out. I think within a week or two, we'll find out for ourselves.
Yeah, with those circular paths, you'll be able to program in your own the radius for dead zone.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that'll be really important.
Yeah, you'll be able to program like a lot of things actually.
Yeah, it's really flexible from the UI videos that I've seen of it. I think it's going to be the most entertaining for people who don't like using controllers already. I think this will be a really good option for them, especially for like me. Like I hate playing FPS on consoles. I just don't, because I think the controller is like useless on it. I highly prefer a mouse and keyboard. Looking at the Steam controller, I think I might use it for all my gaming. In fact, because it is that flexible, and it is, for me at least, like it gives me the tactility, not the tactility, the pinpoint precision that I want, that I can't get with just a joystick.
Yeah, and you do get the tactility actually. So with the trackpad, like they're actually you can press down on these. I think you can configure them to be like discrete, say button press regions or key regions. So you could like actually press on them. And I think they take discrete inputs. So like it's, we'll see. I mean, I think for guns it would be an awesome opportunity for us to like try it, because they're actually, if you look at the control schemes, right? I mean, we can actually tune it, and they can be tuned a little bit differently. So when someone's on a gun versus when someone's on a helm versus when someone's like running around the ship and making repairs and stuff. I mean, we can actually play around with, the bindings or what basically the settings and stuff. It would be pretty interesting.
All right, so we're going to take 2 more real questions and concerns, and then we're going to move on to the personal question of the day. So everyone in the chat, think of one of the more lighthearted personal questions you want to ask. Go ahead and we'll pick one of those. So the first real question is Oculus Rift.
Yes.
Basically just where is it at, or is it being worked on at all? Is there a game plan?
It's where is it at? Physically, it's on. It's right next to Alex's desk. Is it being worked on? Not really. We haven't really found the time to work on, which is like, I know. I mean, people are probably sighing and whatever, and face palming and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's something that we really want to do, but we really haven't had the time to just block out a few days at least to just jam on the Rifts. We want to do that though. It'll be interesting, man. It'll be a challenge for say a captain or a pilot to put it on and not puke. I think if we get to that point, yeah, it'll be an achievement.
Oh, okay. Actually, I lied. There's going to be 3. So that was number 1. Number 2, because I missed this. Thanks for reminding me, Brian. Mouthpiece slots. So between goggles and mouth, because Tim talked about that.
Oh, yeah, Tim did talk about it. I don't know. To get Tim on to answer this one. I think he's planning for it. I don't know. I don't think he's worked on it, because all the work, basically, I would say the vast majority of the work that the artists are doing is on the upcoming trailer. And
female Kavansky concept art.
Yeah, actually, that's actually being worked on. So I know that we're not working on it yet. I mean, it's on Tim's list. I see it on his list of to-dos. That I can vouch for, but I don't think he's worked on it yet, because he's been spending all his time just about on the trailer. And trailer shaping up to be pretty awesome.
And then the last one's more aimed towards Dan, because it was brought up. You're, as you said, one of the newer people, and some people are nervous about a newer person taking over the prime time gun slot. So, do you have another rousing speech to bring them with? A closing comment?
It's not just me doing it. It's not just one person doing this project. First off, it's myself and Urs. We are on the exact same level, and to be completely honest, it's been very positive so far. The partnership has been very strong already. I mean, Urs and I, we don't always agree exactly on how mechanics need to be done, but we're on the very same page when it comes to exactly what a tournament needs to be vibrant and lively and exciting. So it's not just one person. Urs, who's been in the community a long time, he's a part of this too. It's not just one person. So let's say all of a sudden I have a major change in living situation. I dip out. Urs is still here. Let's say Urs has a major complication and can't be around for a few months. I'm still here. That's the beauty of how the system works. Even if one of us dips out, you're going to have a lot of control and a lot of that stability still there. And that's the better part about the two-person system too. Any decisions that go out are both of us making the decision. It's not just one person saying, well, I'm in charge, this is how it goes. No, we're going to talk about things, we're going to work through things, we're going to find the best possible solution for the entire community and for our events. And we're going to make it as best as possible. We're looking at this from an aspect of a business at this point, I think. I think we're both on the same page with that. And you cannot simply walk away from business. That's not how it works. So that's the best I can tell you, but needless to say, not going to happen. That's not how I function.
Yeah, I mean, I think two people system is like great. It's like if I if I just want to be lazy or whatever, I can just pawn stuff off to like Matt. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. My nickname is now Feedback Email. Forwarded the feedback email. Matt, take this. All right.
Whoa! I think it's like a bargain, right? Because I mean, yeah, it's like I get the nastiest stuff. Okay.
True. I do
I'm not saying
leave.
That people are nasty. But I'm just saying,
I do leave the more exciting ones in your hands.
Yeah.
Occasionally mine.
All right, and for our personal question of the day, what has been our favorite Valentine's present, either bought for us or that we bought for someone else, and why?
Holy shit! Are you kidding me? I don't
No.
think I ever got a Valentine's Day present ever. Have I? I don't think so. I don't know.
Have you ever bought anyone a Valentine's present?
If I say no, I'll be in big trouble. So this is like a trap, man.
I didn't think this was a trapping question.
Trap.
You're married. I assumed that you'd be in the best case for this one.
No, man. It's like there's no good way to answer this.
What the
coolest
best?
gift I've seen, I bought it for someone several years back. It was a teddy bear that was holding a heart at its chest, and it said, "I love you, bitch."
It's the Breaking Bad teddy bear.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
Well, I know what I'm getting this year.
All right,
Sign
so
of true romance.
Oh my god.
all right, Jesse, what is the best Valentine's gift you've bought or been given?
The best Valentine's Day gift I've bought, that was probably 2 pounds of fudge for the lady in question. And at the time, I had underestimated just how much fucking fudge that is. It's took us a very long time to go through it. The best one I've received is not the sort of thing I can mention on a public broadcast.
Fair enough. All right, Dan, your best Valentine's.
As I have never received a Valentine's Day gift from another person, this is the only thing I can think of. I gave the gift of my beard to myself. That's the best one I have.
Fair enough.
Pretty
That's
epic.
all I got.
What in the world? The best gift that I've ever given is to give a gift at all.
That's a
The spirit of giving is the best gift.
Come on.
That's right. It's the spirit of giving.
You
It's
see,
like the best gift of all.
I don't have anything exciting. Mine is the cat that I got for the wife. Because when we first went to the pound to pick it up, like we were looking at all the cats, and she chose this one because it tilted its head slightly at her. Like that's almost the entire reasoning. It's like, oh, isn't that cute? It knows us, it's aware of us, kind of thing.
So is it actually like Satan possessed or something?
No.
Like,
It doesn't care about us in the least bit. Like it wants us in the same room, but to watch us. Not like if you get close to it, it's like, no, I don't want to be touched. I just want to know exactly what you're doing at all times.
I will say this.
planning how to kill you.
Probably. Well, that's why the door's closed right now. I'm safe a little bit.
I've given the standard stuff, chocolate, flour, dinners, whatever, right? So like I've never done anything that creative, which is sort of, I don't know what to. That's probably says something about me. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, at least I did something, right?
Sure.
Right.
Right.
Kivias, just so you know, you're not actually safe. One of my friend's cats evolved thumbs. It can open lock doors. You're screwed. You're dead already.
There's nothing stranger than a cat that has those sorts of mutations. I had a friend who had a cat that had...
It's perfectly articulated thumbs.
Yeah, well,
By the way,
that's why the wife sleeps closer to the door, so she's killed first. I've actually thought this through. Gives me a moment to react.
By her blood-curdling screams.
Yep.
And you'll be able to run.
Yep.
By the way, Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so you guys all know. So, take the time to reflect, reach out, be nice to people, practice that in game. It's a good start.
Sounds great. And I believe with that, we're going to end for the week, unless anyone has some final notes they wanted to bring up.
I don't know if I can take another red eye, man.
How...
So freaking high.
And our closing note, planes suck. Air travel is unfun.
It kind of does. I mean, like, I'm sitting next to this lady who's holding on to her purse, dear life, with her dear life, and it's like, oh, we're about to take off, and she just wouldn't relinquish the purse and give it to the flight attendant to put it up, and she's just clutching it. And it was like, I don't know, a 10-minute struggle. They'd get the ground crew, whatever, to come in, 3 people talking her down. I'm like, oh man, God.
Yo, man, it's because she's ferrying drugs. That's what it was.
Yeah, probably. And her husband's like, come on, just let it go. And the guy's like, no. No. I'm like, oh my God.
These people.
All right, we will see you all next week. Thank you for joining us. Especially thank you for joining us, Dan, getting to talk about it. Make your bid for president, it appears.
I'm going to aim for vice president first.
If,
all right.
Next time.
What's the worst thing that could possibly happen?
Next time, if I'm in need of inspirational talk and speech, I'll just get Dan to pre-record one, and I'll just play it.
I'm gonna start YouTubing those, just random YouTube motivational speeches.
I'll just gesture and
not even a subject.
with the dub. I don't know.
You can do it with me together doing. Bye, everyone.